So, yeah, I'm alright. You alright? Walked into me, prick. Fucking people. I've got the engine running because my batteries are low. Nice and warm though. Yeah, I can't stand people like that. A minute ago, I went like that to get past him, but no, he had to be like the macho man, didn't he? Like, you know, walking like that. All he had to do was that, and we would have been cleared. Trying to act, oh, I don't know, it just does my head in. But anyway, needed them because fluff all over my top. It's from that new blanket I've got, but it's so fluffy. So I'm going to use one of these sticky things to try and get it off with. That's the only thing with black. Shows all the fluff. And I've noticed, again, I forgot a bag. Went in Tesco's and he's charged me for 2 bags. About 80 pence. Well, I've got one. Yeah, I was going to go back, but I was about 5 minutes away and I thought, I can't be bothered. For 40 pence. But yeah. So, 2 bags. But anyway. And I brought, who remembers this? Sunny D. It's changed so much though, this. Doesn't taste nowhere near as good as it used to. And I always remember years back, it was in the news. I think it was a girl or a boy in America, and it was around Christmas time. And that kid drank so much of this stuff. It had so many colourings and all that in it. It literally turned her like a sort of shade of orange or yellow. And at the time there was an advert on, I think it was in this country, or it might have been in America. It was a scene with a snowman and he drank some of this and it turned him orange. And I think they banned it. And they took all this off the shelf and redone it all. But it tastes nowhere near as good. This was so Moorish years ago. I was quite addicted to it. But I thought I'd give it another go. It was £1. So, for old time's sake. But yeah. What else have I got? Thought I'd give this a go. Ice Vanilla Berry Red Bull. Is it sugar free? I don't actually think it's sugar free. I'll tell you what, I've got to give it to Poundland. They're really good. Let's state this. They're really good with their drinks. I mean, that was £1. You go to Tesco's, wherever, you're looking at like 1.65, something like that. And I've noticed their crisps are good as well. £1. Mind you, I'm sure it was a pack of 6. They're a pack of 5 now. But £1 in Tesco's, I think they're about 1.70. I'm not sure, but they're definitely not £1. And these as well. Gold Bears. Share size. No, I think I'll be having that all myself. Thank you very much. But these in the petrol station were £2.65. I know petrol stations are dearer, but yeah, £1, Poundland. So, got some other bits and bobs. Actually, it's just all sugar I've got. Churrits, and I've got some donuts from Tesco's. £1.40 for 5, that ain't too bad. And I bought some Richmond sausages, arguably the best sausages in the world. I'm going to get a lot of comments saying otherwise. But I'm going to have sausages, powdered mash, because I haven't got potatoes, normal potatoes or a masher, so it'd be powdered mash, and beans and gravy with onions as well. So I'm going to do that, but let's give this a go. How does this work? Oh my life. That's it. So much fluff. Cool, yeah, look at that, look, already. It's pretty good, that. A lovely couple gave me one of these. It was a decent one, but I've used it all, unfortunately. It got a lot of dog hairs up as well from the previous owner of this thing. But they do work well. What else can I do? It's good, isn't it? Yeah, good. Let's add that to the collection. Loading now. Right, I bought this coconut liqueur. It's like a Malibu equivalent. A unique and exotic blend of white rum and coconut flavour. God, that is windy out there. 21%. And I bought the cheap Malibu equivalent. Why not buy the cheap Coca-Cola equivalent to go with it? I don't actually mind that. It reminds me of Roller Cola. I don't even think they're going anymore. Right. Oh, I'll tell you what. That smells like that suntan lotion that you put on. I think it comes in like is it called a Hawaii or something? Lotion. It comes in like a brown plastic spray bottle. Oh, it smells like that. Right, how much of this do we put in? That's not a lot, is it? That'll do. The thing is, this doesn't taste like alcohol at all. So I've got to be careful with that. I don't like the taste of. I hate vodka. And the thing is, I love potatoes, but I just don't like vodka. It's vile. But this tastes alright. Yeah, I can't taste no alcohol at all. Oh, it's giving me a bit of an itchy nose. That's cheapness for you. I've had quite a few comments. People saying, "Do you enjoy van life?" The simple answer is no, I don't. I'll give you a few reasons. Well, there's more minuses than there are pluses. Put it that way. For me, number one with van life, I don't like driving, so that's an issue straight away because it's a home on wheels, isn't it? Basically, I used to love driving years ago, but it's 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 just become a nightmare the past 5 or 10 years. People rushing around, they're tailgating more, they're speeding, they're cutting in front of you. Oh, just it's not for me. I hate it. And another thing I don't like is having to find places to park. Again, I hate it. I tend to use just laybys because you know what you're getting with a lay-by. I do park at the side of. I do park on in roads, but I tend to be away from houses really if I can. Car parks. I park in car parks, but I don't always feel. I feel saying that I feel more safe in this, a lot more safer in this than I did in the Billingo. But oh, it's gassy that Coke. And I think the main reason being why I feel safe, because if anything does kick off, I can walk straight into the driver's seat. I don't have to get out the side door like I did in the Blingo, then walk in the front. The only downside to this, because it's an old motorhome, is you've got to wait half hour for the glow plugs to get hot. So if anything did kick off, I'd be knackered. Uh, intruder, just give me half hour. I've just got to make sure my glow plugs are hot enough before you rob me. Hang on, I'm nearly there. Just hang on a minute. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, you've only got a couple more minutes yet. No worries, I should be done by then. Number 3 is, and this is towards people that own new motorhomes. A good 80% of new motorhome people look down upon anyone that's got a van that's like 10 years or older. They don't even acknowledge you, a lot of these people. I get on really well with like the other people with like the old motorhomes. I find them a lot more salt of the earth, people. Just normal people, not up their own backside like a lot of these people with the new motorhomes that cost like 150 grand. There's classes in, if you own a home, keep up the Joneses, got to have a better car than them. Oh, he's having an extension put on. Oh, we better get a better extension. It's exactly the same with when you're in a motorhome. You've still got that. What's that word? Oh, I can't think of the name of that word. But I was having a chat with a few of these new motorhome people that got like new motorhomes, and they basically like look at you up and down like you're just a piece of bleeding crap. Why are you talking to me? Don't talk to me, you peasant. So now I don't bother. I don't even acknowledge them. But number 4 is it costs an absolute fortune in fuel. People think that being in a motorhome is cheap way of living. It ain't as cheap as you think it is. It may be cheaper than renting a flat for £1,200 a month, but it was a couple of weeks ago. I was talking to a lady, and she said, "Oh, it must only cost you about £100 a month to live." I wish, including the fuel, the gas, and gas is another one. I pay £46 for a bottle of gas, a 6 kilo, and it's lasted me 20 days. And bear in mind, I've not had the heating on a lot. I've done a bit of cooking, but I've not used the oven hardly at all. I've used it 1 or 2 times. It's mainly the hob. But I'd have the gas heating on for a half hour here, half hour there, and that'd be it. Yeah, and it's literally 20 days that's lasted me. £46. That's a lot of money. And not only that, I've got to have the engine running at the moment to charge the batteries. That uses fuel. It doesn't use a lot, but it still uses fuel. I probably still spend in a week trying to find places to park, searching around, I probably get through 50 quid a week in diesel. So that's £200 a month. And in fact, it may be a little bit more than that. Well, a bit less, bit more, it all depends. But just searching for places to park soon adds up in fuel. I probably spend a month with fuel, food, insurance, tax, main, excuse me, maintenance, which I've only had this a month, but you still put money aside for maintenance. Well, at the moment, I'm not working, so I'm just praying that not a lot will go wrong with it. I do have money aside still, but not a humongous amount, so I've got to go careful. So, what was I saying? I probably spend about, which is more, I probably spend about £100 a month on food now, maybe a little bit more, but say 100 quid. Around £200 on fuel. I've got my. I'm not going to tell you my insurance or the tax, but that's a lot. But I add it in all at the end for you. If I was working, I'd have to put money aside for maintenance, and if anything goes wrong, well, gas at the moment, and it's getting colder. So realistically, I'm probably going to have the heating on more. So I'll probably be using 2 gas bottles a month, roughly. So that's going to cost me. Well, I've actually seen a place. I bought one for 39 quid, say 40 quid. It was £39.50 something. Say 40 quid. So that's going to cost me about £80 a month just in gas. So I'm looking, what else is there? Water as well. If I can't find anywhere to fill up with water, I have to buy them. Again, they're only like 155, 160 a time, but it soon adds up. And a 5 litre of water, you can get through about 7-8 litres a day easy, maybe 10 after you've washed up, you've gone to the toilet, and just general bits and bobs really. With putting, say, a couple of £100 away a month for the maintenance of the van, you're looking at about 700 a month, which don't sound a lot. But when I had that lady saying it must only cost you £100 a month to live, well, there's a big difference. I think she was in cuckoo land when she said that. £100 a month. How can you live for £100 a month? Unless you're living in a tent somewhere out in the woods, and you only got to buy food and perhaps some water. But even that, I think you'd struggle. But yeah, be about 700 a month, maybe going on to about 800. But say 700, say £700. Yeah, there may be people that could live cheaper than me, but the insurance is expensive on this. The tax is quite expensive on this, the road tax. And oh, it ain't road tax. You don't pay road tax anymore. It's called something else. Well, I still call it road tax. When I years ago, when I passed my test, it was called road tax, so I still call it road tax. But that's a lot. itchy nose. Why have I got an itchy nose? That cack-handed. Look how I'm pouring a drink. Oh, God. Imagine me being a barman. Pint of Coke, mate, not a problem. All right with it. Oh. Anything else? Oh. Are you alright? Oh. What else is there? Negatives with van life. Oh, just a term, van life in general. Are you a van life? Are you into van life? Well, if it means not socialising with people, then yes, I am. Because as soon as you mention van life, people like, oh yeah, yes, we all meet up, we all have a gathering. You know, let's all dance at Stonehenge. No, just no, not for me. It's yeah. I'd like to call it something different, van life than van life. Pants life. Yeah, that's what I'd like to call it. Pants life, because that's the reality. And I've been watching quite a few other van lifers lately. There's quite a few on now. Well, quite a few. A good 90% of them. It's all fake, I think. Anyway, they're all turning up, and it's all like cinema surrounding setups. You know, and they open the door, and it's like a lake and a massive waterfall. And then the next scene, you've got like a woman in just her underwear doing yoga. Oh, I mean, come on. I mean, fair play to her. She's got a lot of followers. But it's not the reality of it. It really isn't the reality. There's a lot of false information that goes around about van life or pants life. That's what I like to call it. I like to show you the reality of it all. Not all this Instagram bleeding photos and all that. You know, making a it just does my head in. It absolutely does my head in. And yeah, I don't know. I really, it's the reality of van life for me is awful. That's what I say. Absolutely awful. You're forever wondering where you're gonna top up your water. You're forever wondering how long the battery's going to last, a leisure battery. Gas is another thing. Emptying your toilet. Where do you empty your toilet? Mainly campsites. That's another issue. Where to park? That's a big issue. That's hitting me a bit already, that. I have to go easy with it. But if you're looking into getting into van life, then please don't be fooled by a lot of these channels out there that are showing you all this positive side of it and how wonderful it is. Because the reality of it is, it's not. It really ain't. I'd love just to have like a like a little, just a little shed, really, out with your own bit of land, and just stay in that, out of the way from people. So you ain't got, I ain't got to keep moving around all the time and and finding, you know, your next place to stay, and is it going to be safe? Anyway, the plus sides of van life, the only one I can think of is if you get some rowdy sods that turn up, you can move on. Well, there's a downside to that as well. So it ain't really a plus. It's more like a neutral side. It's all right to move on, but where do you move on to? You've got to then find another place to park up. Other plus, I can't think of any more pluses really. I can't think of any more pluses. People say, "Oh, I must be like meeting a community of other van lifers." Not really for me, thanks. I like being on my own, blinds closed, so no one can see you. Trying to think what else there is. I remember when I lived in my flat, I had a, I had a mortgage at the time, and the flat I was up the top. It was only a small block. It was a really nice block. It was well looked after. It was actually a freehold building, so we was all part owner of the freehold, which is quite unusual for flats. But below me, the couple rented this flat out, and they took on nothing but nightmare tenants. Absolute nightmare. The first lot, he I hated him. He shouldn't have been there anyway. I couldn't stand the bloke. He used to throw litter all over the floor. You had your own designated parking spot, and he had 3 cars and a bloody great trailer the size of this motorhome, and he'd park it in people's spaces. So I used to kick off over him. It nearly got to fighting stage with him. I was very close. I had a good few massive rows with him. Anyway, eventually they left, and then I had another fella come in. And at the time, I felt really sorry for him. I felt really sorry for the bloke. He seemed to be really down on his luck, and not a lot, not a lot was going for him. Bless him. At the time, I thought. So I used to say to him, "Look," he said he was a painter and decorator. I said, "Well," I said, "all these corridors and that need doing. Would you be interested in that? You know, sort it all out for you." It was a good price as well. It was good money for him, and he sort of jumped at the chance. And anyway, he lasted. Well, he'd done the job. It took him about, well, overall, about 6 weeks to do, because he wouldn't turn up for a week, and he was like, "Oh, I'm sorry about that. You know, I was feeling rough and this, that, oh." And I was always on his case. "Come on, it needs doing." And he kept saying, "Oh, can you advance me with money?" I said, "Do you know what?" I said, "No." I said, "You're taking the effing piss now." I said, "I've already given you like 300 odd quid. This is out of everyone's kitty, by the way. We paid like a maintenance thing." I said, "I've already given you 300 quid, 300 odd quid, because you needed it for like, for some of the rent and food or whatever." Oh no, in fact, I gave him another cut of 100 as well out of it, so that's 500. And then he asked for more. I think the job itself was, I think it was about 900 quid. And he had hardly done any work. I said, you're getting no more out of us until it's completed. It was coming towards the end of the month and the rent was due for him. So he got his backside into gear. And he got his mum involved to help finish it all off. Anyway, he had done it all. And he knocked on the door. He said, I've done it, I need the money now. I said, before I give you anything, I'm having a little look around. And it was an absolute state. The cutting in was horrific. It was awful. I said, look about all this. I said, before I pay you anything, I said, you can redo all this. I said, it looks like a bloody bleeding dog's done it. You know what I mean? With his paw like that, just splashed it all over. I said, you're getting jack until you complete it and make a good job of it. There was paint all over the bleeding car. Mind you, it wasn't so bad. It was over the carpet. It was the carpets were being replaced. But still, you'd still at least put covers down, wouldn't you? And try and do, it was everywhere. All everywhere. He's walking all in it. It was all up him, splashed up him like he'd opened a tin and exploded. It was all over him. Oh, by the way, it was all over the windows, all just painted in like that, all over. No care taken at all. He started trying to correct his bleeding disaster, but he didn't do a bloody good job of it at all. And then he knocked again. I said, you know what? I said, take the effing money. I said, don't you ever, ever expect any more work out of me or out of us. I said, you're a bloody nightmare. Trying to do you a favour, so I felt sorry for you. I said, it's no wonder why you've got no bleeding work. I said, you're a pee taker. I've got to go easy on that. It turned out he was into certain drugs. And I was up in my room, up in my bedroom, and my window was open, and his window was open below. It was the same, it was identical. His bedroom was below as well. And I heard him shouting out, come on, I haven't got all day. Get your belongings and let's go, he was going. And I thought, who's he talking to? There's no one there with him. Anyway, 10 minutes later, he went out the front door. He was on a path. And he was just like talking to no one. Are you ready then? Come on, let's go. I ain't got all bleeding day, he was going. Actually, not in that sort of posh voice. It was a bit more of a chav voice. And I shouted out, I said, who are you talking to? I said, there's no one there. And then he come back and he was banging around, talking to himself, and that's that. Oh. He moved on. He got kicked out because he didn't pay the rent. And this other person turned up and just loved slamming doors, thumping around like an elephant. And you wouldn't have thought you'd hear it, me being up the top. It was literally just me up the top, and there was someone next door to me, an old boy, lovely fella. It was just me and him. But you could hear him walking around like mental. And then you'd have music playing at 12, 1 in the morning, blaring out. So I'd go down, banging on his door, telling him to shut up, and he would never answer the door. It used to really irritate me. So in the end, it went on for about 8, 9 months. And in the end, I found out the, what do you call it, estate agents that rented the place out. So I just kept complaining to them, kept complaining, and nothing happens. And then it was about a year later, I basically had to give up my place because I wasn't working properly. I suffered with, or still suffer with, head issues, and I couldn't afford the mortgage repayments on it, so I gave it up. And that day when I was leaving, waiting for the switch over, he turned up, the bloke below me, and he went, "Oh, just to let you know, I'm leaving in a week's time." And I thought, unbelievable, wasn't it? Why couldn't you left earlier? But never mind. I'm getting a little bit hungry. I've got to calm down on that. And I'm honestly not a drinker. I really ain't. It's made me feel a little bit rough, that has. I'm not having no more of that. It's weird because the Bailey's one, I felt quite happy on. But this rum, it's made me feel really just not right. So I'm not going to be drinking any more of that. In fact, I'm not going to be drinking any more in general, I don't think. It's only because it's Christmas. No more of that. I'm done with it. It's made me feel weird. It's made me feel proper rough, that rum. I can't be bothered to do sausage, powdered mash and beans. So I'm just going to do a sausage sandwich, maybe with onions, if I can be bothered to cut them up. Right. I'm going to ask. There's a fella I see occasionally. I'll see if he want the rum. If not, it'll be poured down the drain and let the bacteria have a merry time on it. Well, what's the point? I'll have some cheese as well. I might have cheese with it. It's easy to do, isn't it? And Richmond, yeah, it's just water, I think. The fridge ain't even on, but I stuck them in now just to try and keep them cool, if that makes any sense. Ah! Bastard. Bloody lit, that fat. Turn that down a bit. And I've just looked up about that Orange Kid, and it was actually a girl in Wales back in the late 90s, 1999 or something like that. So it was actually in this country. Yeah. But look how she's getting on there. Oh, get that away. I don't even want to see that. I'll go down there and wait for a minute. Oh, no, I can do one and all. Oh, just the smell of it's put me off now. Cheap bread. And I'm going to be greedy. I'm going to have 6 bits of bread. And for you people commenting, going, oh, it's really bad for your health. Oh, that's terrible. I couldn't care less. So save your time commenting. Oh, how could you eat all that? Oh, do you know how bad that is for you? So what? I fancy it. Oh, how much butter you're putting on the bread? Oh, do you know it's going to clog? Oh, shit. Who cares? I actually eat pretty healthy. I eat a lot of veg. I don't eat a lot of fruit because I find it boring. But I don't mind smoothies. I'm going to put a slice of cheese on each one. And I'll tell you something. Try it if you haven't yet. Have 1 or 2 of these about half hour before you go to bed. And tell me whether if you dream a lot better. And you have really sort of nice dreams. Because I do. And also I don't find normal cheese, like grated cheese, it doesn't really improve my dreaming, but this sort of cheese does. And also, I think peanuts do as well. They make you dream. Like, dreaming like you can remember your dreams for days, weeks, and years. I mean, I can remember some dreams that I had years ago. Only a few. Mm. Cloths over there, I can't bother to get it. I'm not out to impress anyone anyway. Yeah, it's so watered down now and just tastes of sweeteners. They've ruined it. A good 80% now of fruit drinks have sweeteners in. Surely it should be down to the consuming themselves whether or not they want sweeteners or sugar. It's very hard now to get like a juice with just sugar. I mean, you've got Coca-Cola. I don't think there's any sweeteners in Coca-Cola, unless you get the diet one. But most now have sweeteners in. All these do-gooders, isn't it? Oh, it's all bad for your health. Like butter. People moan at me, you should be having butter or it'll clog up all your arteries. Well, it didn't do my nan and granddad any harm. And they used to bleed and cook in lard. Don't take my advice at all, because I could be totally wrong. Again, another thing, now you got to cover your tracks with everything you say, ain't you? Fucking bollocks to a lot of it.